Alright. Done taking a break. Oh. Headed back out, ate. It took a little bit of a longer break than what I wanted, but whatever. So supposedly after this year, they're done. Yeah, so I took a little bit of a longer break than what I wanted, but it's whatever. We ended up eating. Actually, I'll leave my sunglasses off. It's getting to the point of the day now I can run without them. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to apologize. Took a little bit of a longer break than expected, but whatever. I did it for good reason because I ate and I ate and put all the stuff that I got for Dad's bike on. His seat bag. And then the grips off of my red bike, that were on it when I bought it. I got nothing against lock-on grips, but they're not what I really like. Being a fair dumbass. I should know because I had them. So then I gave Dad my old grips. Because I gave him the antlers. For his bike because he had them on the bike that he bought when we were in the trailer. Or he has them on the bike that he bought when we were in the trailer, which is now Mom's bike, but I think that thing's going to be going for sale. I'm like, and he's always talking about wanting a set for his bike, but he says, well, I can't run them because of how my grips are, or I can't put them on my bike because my grips aren't, like a normal grip where they are open on either end. And I said, technically you could, you just got to get those and change your grips. He's like, well, how? Or I was like, you technically can't. He's like, well, how? I said, you just got to change your grips, which grips aren't that expensive. For a decent pair, I've learned for a decent pair, which are, like something like ODI, are open on both ends, you need a grip that's open on both ends. It's like, oh. And I said, I have a pair if you get a pair, you know, get a pair of those antlers. He's like, you do? I'm like, yeah. I said, the grips I took off my fat tire, my red one. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I said, if you want, if you ever get a pair of those, you can have my red grips. You know, I'm not going to use them. He's like, okay. You know, and then he never fucking buys them. Yeah, I was like, because I ended up bringing the red bike in earlier this year before we went camping in May. I said, he's still planning to, or I was having to get you a pair for your birthday. He's like, no. What about, you know, putting it, how hard it's going to be putting this on the camper? I said, it ain't going to be that fucking bad. White C8. Seen one get totaled after our week. The day that we went home. Me and Dad were bringing the camper away. You know, because we keep it in storage on Main Street. And I told Dad, because I noticed the way that he was going to go. So I'm going to go back to the bike thing in a minute. And I noticed right away what way Dad's going to go. I was like, what way are you going? He's like, going to Dan's. I said, no, you can't. He's like, why? I said, the fucking bridge is still out. He's like, shit. And he flipped, you know, his blinker to right. You know, and then we turned right and went down University to Henry. Turned left on Henry. You know, so like when I went, I think it was yesterday. So you guys went to see it. So I'm talking in retrospect, Wednesday. This past Wednesday. I went to Main Street and I rode. I didn't stop at Dollar Tree this time. I may. You know, depending on what days I have off next week, where I can have a little bit more time to do it. But I went to Martin Hardware to get a couple of sockets. I bought the wrong size, so I'm gonna have to go back and buy the right size this time, which are 5/32 deep and short, you know, for the sockets. And then I may stop and, or so then after I went to Martin yesterday, I went to Walgreens on Main and Mason. And they had a 128 gigabyte flash drive that I was looking for, so now I got the whole set complete for now. So I gotta double check on what I all have. Oh shit, kind of fucking pissed. I forgot I wanted to. Well, that's about right. Though it's not completely accurate, but my phone, because I'm recording the. Because I'm almost positive now that I'm recording the screen recording the maps for the bike thing that I'm doing. I've only done like 6 videos so far, you know, 2-3 part things or whatever. Which I may have to depending on how long I'm out. Swear I kind of wish that I had a fucking phone mount, because then I could just mount my phone on the lower bar of bars that, you know, the bar that goes into the stem. Mount it there. But that'd be kind of, oh no, not really. Or I could mount it on the top bar.